We're out here in front of the house. We got about a month till season. Nathan and I are heading out for our second year elk hunting, heading to Colorado again to the same place we were last year. Dates are going to be just a little different, going to be a little earlier this year. This year we're hitting August 30th to September 9th. So we're going to try to catch that early season into the pre-rut. Anyway, last year being our first year, we did a lot of experimenting on gear and stuff like that. We didn't know exactly what to expect or what to bring. So this year my gear list has been honed in a little better. I did a video last year of what I brought. I'm going to update y'all on what I'm bringing this year and what I've changed from last year. So hopefully you get something out of the video. Hopefully it'll help with something that you're trying to figure out what you want to bring. I'm also going to upload a Excel spreadsheet that I've put together. The guys at Go Hunt put together an Excel spreadsheet a couple years ago, and I happened to see it and kind of change it to what I had. So it'll have pack weights individually broken down by each section of gear that I've got. And maybe you'll get something out of it. And let's go ahead and jump on into the video. Appreciate you watching. All right, so let's jump on into the video. Starting this video off is going to be the pack that I'm using this year, which is the Exo Mountain 5500. Absolutely phenomenal pack, phenomenal people, great people to deal with. I don't see myself ever changing from this pack or this company unless something just off the wall happens. I can't say enough about this pack and the people that make these packs. That's what I'm going to be using for this year, and I'm super excited about it. 5.5 pounds, and that's including the Peak Design capture clip that my camera goes on. And you're going to be hard pressed to find another pack on the market that's that lightweight, that can carry the weight and the amount of stuff that this pack can as comfortable as this pack can. So moving on from there is going to be the Peak Design capture clip, which is the clip that I used this year, or used starting this year. Can't say enough about this little clip. I've loved this thing so far since I've had it. I've had it for probably 6 or 8 months now, and I use this thing all the time. Backpacking, hiking, fishing, hunting, it don't matter. If I've got my camera and I've got a backpack, this thing's gonna be on it. Weighs next to nothing, and it's super handy for anything like what we're doing here. Next is going to be my sleep system for this year. So to start off, my sleep system is going to be my Outdoor Vital 20-degree sleeping bag. I've got a little floor tarp type thing that's going to go in the bottom of my sleep shelter. I've got a Neo Air X-Therm sleeping pad, my Luxe Design Hex Peak tent, which is like a hexagon shaped teepee tent. Super lightweight, floor stakes and tent weigh in at just under 2 pounds. I'm using the MSR Mini Groundhog stakes, and I'm using the Lucky trekking poles, and that's what's going to hold the center of my tent up. It just takes one trekking pole. I wanted to get away from using a standard tent so I didn't have to pack tent poles, and that's what I did for this year. So now I'm using just a single trekking pole for the center of my tent, which knocks out weight in my pack because I'm already going to pack trekking poles. So knocking out 2 birds with 1 stone, saving weight, and I like to have 2 uses for each piece of gear that I have. So that's my sleep system for this year. It's definitely an upgrade from what I've used last year, and absolutely love that system. Everything's going to be inside of this Alaskan Guide Creation binocular pack. Can't say enough about it. Inside the pack, I've got my wind checker. I've got my Vortex Viper 10x42s. Love those binoculars, absolutely phenomenal. Must have a great set of binoculars when you're in the backcountry. I've got my Leupold RX-1000 rangefinder. I've got a extra blade and a Havalon with a brand new blade. I've got a little Bic mini lighter just in case of emergencies. I've got in the side pocket over here a thing of chapstick. Colorado super dry. You'll chap your lips up real quick, especially if you're somebody like me coming from the south where you're used to the moisture. I'll have an extra camera battery. You don't want to run out of battery when you're in on elk or anything like that, so it's always good to have one easily accessible so you're not digging through your pack. Spare memory card just to make sure I don't run out of memory when elks come in. In my right side pocket, I'll have all my calls. I don't store these things in this little plastic bag, but these are dry and I just stuck them in here for the video. But that's where they'll go, is right there in the side pouch. On the back will be my tags. It'll be a pen and a notepad, as well as some field wipes, just in case I get stuck somewhere and I can't get back to my pack, got to use the bathroom, anything like that. I'll have my ready to go calls right here on the side little pouch hanging from my shoulder strap. Those are the ones I can get to super quick, and then I'll have a lens cloth. And that'll be it for optics and for what's in my binocular harness. So let's get into the clothes that's going to be packed actually in my pack this year. So this year's going to be the same pretty well as what I had last year. I'm going to have the First Light Un Compadre puffy jacket. I'll have the First Light Chama hoodie. I'm going to have a pair of fleece camp pants just to wear around in camp or wear when we're glassing early morning. I'll have a Cabela Space rain jacket. I'll also have a First Light beanie, a neck gaiter, a set of gloves for hiking, and then a set of fingerless wool gloves from First Light to finish off the system. That's all I'll be wearing this year as far as just clothes that are packed in my pack. I'm not bringing any extra shirts, not bringing any extra underwear in my pack. I will have a spare pair of underwear and a spare shirt in the truck. The plan is to hike in and hunt 4 or 5 days in one area and move on. If after 2 days we haven't seen any elk, we may go back out to the truck. If we do and I need to change a shirt, change underwear, I'll do that then. The only extra thing that I'll pack in my pack, spare wise, will be these socks. And it's going to be a pair of Fitz wool socks, 100% merino wool, and a pair of the Injinji toe type socks. It's just my liner sock, keeps my toes from rubbing together, and that's just a great system for me. Seems to work out great. That's kept me warm and well, 20 degrees, 15 degrees, something like that. I've stayed warm in that system there. Don't need a whole lot of extra clothes, and that's one thing everybody seems to overpack on is spare clothes in the backcountry. So moving from that, so the clothes that I'm going to be wearing in, or what I'm going to be wearing in, is going to be this system here. So I'll have my boonie hat, I'll have my First Light Wick 150 t-shirt. I just have a regular old cloth Under Armour belt, lightweight, not anything special. I'm a gaiter type guy, so I'll be wearing these First Light tall gaiters. These things saved my shins numerous times last year. I'll have the Wick 150 boxers on, and then this year I'm going to wear the some cool hiker pants. Can't say enough about those pants. They're durable, lightweight. Last year I wore the Timberline pants from Sitka. They were great pants. The only issue I had with them is I think they were just a little bit too much for the time of year that we're going. So I'm going to wear those cool pants for this year. Boots are going to remain the same. These are the Solomon Quest GTX 4D, I believe is what they are. Just a good lightweight leather boot. waterproof. Love those boots. They're super comfortable. I never got any hot spots last year, and can't complain about those boots at all. They've been great for me, and I've heard a lot of people having issues with their feet in the backcountry, and I just haven't with that system there. So that's the clothes that's going to be actually on my body when we leave the trailhead. For electronics, we'll start out with the way I charge in the backcountry. I got a 21 watt Anchor solar charger. I'll have a 10,000 milliamp Anchor battery pack, and both of those will stay at camp, or I could hang it from my backpack and charge as I go. But more than likely that'll be back at camp charging during the day while we're hunting. I'll have a 5,000 milliamp battery pack in my pack during the day, and that's just for my cell phone, flashlight, and things like that. That's actually in my pack at the time. Did have to use that last year. Phone died on us when we were using the Onyx maps, so it's always handy to have a battery charger on your person. I'll have this little box right here, weighs nothing. That's what my little lav mic that I'm using right now, which is a Tascam, I believe is the brand. Yeah, Tascam DR10L. That'll be inside of that little box there. Just keep it safe when we're not using it. I'll have my GoPro Sportsman's mount. I'll have my newest camera to the line this year. I'll have my drone, which is my DJI Mavic Air. Phenomenal little drone. Love that thing. It should add a good dynamic to our videos this year, and hopefully we'll get some cool shots. Just make sure you check your drone regulations for the area that you're going to. Make sure it's legal to fly. So I'll have that. I'll have my remote, and in this little dry bag here I'll have 2 batteries and my ND filters for the drone. I'll also have a bag, a little pouch right here, a little padded pouch. That'll have my ND filters for my main camera, which is the Sony a6500. And then to finish this out, I'll have, this is what all is in my little camera essentials bag. It looks like a lot, really doesn't weigh much at all. Lens cloth, 2 extra batteries for the lav mic. I'll have 5 extra camera batteries. I'll have a new addition to the camera equipment is this little Lytra torch light, and that'll just mount to the top of the camera if we're trying to video at night or film a recovery or something like that. Super cool little light. I'll have all my charging cables. I'll have 3 or 4 extra memory cards for the camera and a few extra memory cards for the GoPro and stuff like that. I'll have my GoPro in there, and I'll also have my little emergency Petzl E-light. I don't go anywhere without that thing. Super handy to have. And then I'll have some zip ties and things like that, just in case something breaks on the tripod or the camera, and as well as my camera battery charger. That'll all be in there. And I pack that in this little handy little bag here by Lux, the same company that makes my tent. They're like $5 from them. Super cheap, super lightweight, and just keeps everything organized. And all of that right there will actually go in the top of my pack, in my pouch, all of this little camera essentials bag here. And then I have earplugs in there for sleeping at night, because sometimes when the wind's howling at night, it's just easier for me to sleep when I have earplugs. So all that right there goes in this little essentials bag for my camera equipment. And to round off the camera equipment would be my Sony a6500, which is what I'm filming with. Great little camera. Can't say enough about it. And I'll be using a Vanguard carbon fiber tripod. That's what I'm going to use for this year. Is what I used last year. I think tripod and ball head both like 2.5 pounds together, so they don't weigh hardly anything. And great little system, super handy to have a sturdy tripod when you're trying to video, as well as when you're trying to glass in the mornings. So from my camera equipment, my electronics, I'll move on into my cooking system. I have 2 Fossil folding plates. One's a plate, one's a cup. And then I'll have my little Primus Edelite cook stove. Inside the cook stove, I'll pack a sponge, I'll have my actual fuel canister, and then I'll have my stove itself. Just remember that if you're flying like we are this year, take your fuel canister out. Don't try to fly with it because they will take it, and they'll probably tear your bag up trying to get to it. But anyway, that's my cook system, super lightweight. Does everything I needed to do, has never failed on me so far, and I've had it for like 2 years now. So great lightweight system, and just phenomenal way to cook your food in the backcountry. Along with food, you got to have water. My water system is just a black Ovis bladder. I'll have 2 platy bottles. They're 2 liters apiece, and then I'll have a Sawyer squeeze filter, and that's it for my water. Super simple, easy to get water out of any kind of little drainage or anything like that. That's a 2 liter bladder. I'll fill it up just a little full, so it'll be a little over 2 liters in my bag. And then I'll have 2 empty 2 liter bottles, and when we get to the next stream or next water, if we need water, I'll fill up a dirty bag, which I have marked dirty, and then I'll fill up my clean bag off of my dirty bag, and then I'll fill up my bladder out of my dirty bag as well. That Sawyer squeeze is just an easy little filter to use. Has a good flow rate, and it's just lightweight. You don't really have to worry about anything with it. So. And on my Sawyer, I've got the little quick disconnect that clips right into my little cutoff that I have put into my water bladder hose. It just clips right in. It's super simple, easy to use, and it just keeps me from having to pull my water bladder out of my pack. So I'll just hook my dirty bag in there, I'll fill it up, pull this out, and then clip my little bite valve back in, and we're good to go. So that's my water system, and that's pretty much the easiest system I've seen to use for the areas that we go to. So for hygiene, I'll just have 1 body wipe per day. I won't carry those in that pack like that, but I will carry them in a Ziploc bag, and I'll have 1 per day. I have just a little lightweight camp towel. This is what I keep in my little hygiene bag. It doesn't weigh a whole lot. It's maybe more than what some people bring, but I like to stay clean in the backcountry without having to get in the water. So I'll have my spoon for my cook set. Only reason I keep it in this bag is just so I don't lose it. Some Q-tips for cleaning my ears. I'll have some Gold Bond powder, some toothpaste. I have a toothbrush that I cut in half, as well as some dental floss. I'll have a little box of dental floss, but that's mainly for my archery equipment, just in case I run out of serving material and have to serve something with dental floss. I'll have a halfway used stick of unscented deodorant. I'll have some dish detergent, that's mainly for my cook stove. I'll have some Purell hand sanitizer, and then I'll have 2 butt wipes per day also in that bag there, and that just to keep your butt clean. Last thing you want is to start getting a rash on your butt or anywhere on your body when you're in the backcountry, something that will just aggravate the crap out of you. And I've seen people actually come out because they just get so galled and so chapped that they just can't handle it anymore. So that's my system of keeping clean in the backcountry, and with that, I don't have to worry about whether I have water to get in or not, or whether the water's super cold. I clean off with my wipes, keep myself clean, keep my butt clean. I try to keep my butt and my feet as clean as possible. When I'm in the backcountry, I don't want anything that's gonna make me come out earlier than what I want to come out. And my emergency kit is kind of simple. It's not really in depth, but it'll be enough to hopefully keep us back there in the case of emergency, or at least get us out in the case of emergency. So I keep this in another little bag from the Lux camping gear, the people that I bought my tent from. This is, I think, a small. I'll have some D-loop material and some serving material for my bow. I'll have the rest of my butt wipes, which like I said, 2 per day. I'll have Band-Aids, some Neosporin type stuff just to hopefully keep infection away. Some tenacious tape for my gear and stuff like that. I have a little thing of Quick Clot. I have ibuprofen, Tylenol, Aleve, and some high strength stuff just in case we actually hurt something back there and we need to get somebody out really quick, and they're in a lot of pain. I also have some ointment just in case you start getting like jock itch or like a rash or something like that down around your butt. Leuco tape, I can't say enough about this. I'm gonna have a new roll in my pack before we leave. This tape is phenomenal and you can use it for anything. I would way rather use this than duct tape. You put it on your feet at the beginning of the hunt for hot spots and it will not come off. I also have some extra elk calls. That's just really pretty much just for organization, just to keep them in there. I have my Allen wrench set for my archery equipment, and that's lightweight as well, from Pine Ridge Archery. I have some glue, some super glue, which is for either fletching arrows or also fixing cuts and stuff. I love using super glue to fix my cuts. Some more elk calls and a thing of waterproof matches. And that's all that goes in my emergency kit. Not really in depth, like I said, but it's just enough to keep us comfortable and have what we need just in case somebody gets cut or somebody gets hurt or anything like that. So super simple little system, weighs nothing, packs down in this little blue bag. And the reason I did a blue bag is so it's bright in color and it's easy to find in a hurry if I need to. For my kill kit, it's a bag of the Wapiti game bags, and let's see here, 50 foot of rope, and that's like the 2mm tent cord or whatever for hanging meat. I'll have 2 pairs of gloves. I'll have some flagging ribbon, some green flagging ribbon. I'll have 3 extra blades for my Havalon knife. I'll have a ground cloth, and I'll have a black contractor bag as well as 2 large bags from Caribou Game Bags and 1 small bag from the Caribou Game Bags company, and that's from their Wapiti set. I don't pack a whole set because Nathan will be with me and he'll also have half his set, and that'll be enough for a full elk between the 2 of us, and it just kind of divvies up the weight between the 2. So instead of carrying an entire set of game bags, you're only having to carry half per person. Bushnell 300 watt rechargeable headlamp, nothing special there. I do like the fact that it's rechargeable. It's going to be the first time trying one for an extended backpack hunt, and I'll have an extra one in the truck just in case this one goes out on me. But like I said, nothing special there. For my call, I'll have a Phelps bugle tube. Phenomenal bugle tube. I feel like you get your sound carries perfectly out of this thing, carries a long distance. For me, it was easy to pick up and learn how to use. I'd never elk called before, but last year I learned and was able to call in some elk, and just can't complain about that at all. It's kind of heavy, and I guess if nothing else, you can just knock an elk out with it, but great little bugle tube there from Phelps. Really, to wind it out in my pack, I'll have a little foam pad for setting, and I'll just have a little thing of Hardy face paint just in case we decide to paint our faces. The bow that I'm using is going to be my same Carbon Spider 34. Can't complain about that bow. Shooting 77 pounds, shooting around 280 feet per second, so not super fast, but it's perfect for what I need. Be shooting an 11.5 foot front bar stabilizer from CBE. I won't be shooting a back bar this year like I did last year. I'll be shooting a tight spot 7-arrow quiver, be filled with arrows. I'm shooting the Easton Axis match grade 340s. These with the broadhead and all weigh in at 460 grains, and that's with a 75 grain brass insert and a broadhead adapter on the end. And for broadheads this year, I'll be shooting the QAD Exodus fixed blade broadheads. Phenomenal broadheads. Right now I've got the broadheads I had from turkey season, which I don't use those for turkeys, but I do use those for elk and for deer. For release, I've got my TrueFire wrist release, no complaints there. Just is what it is. It's just a good all-around release, nothing special. The biggest addition this year is going to be my black gold sight. Last year I had a CBE Tech Hybrid. This year is a black gold Ascent Verdict. It's a 4-pin, all green. First pin is a 29 thousandths. Second, third, and fourth pins are going to be 10 thousandths. Love that system. Great, seems great for me. The green is the easiest one for me to see. As far as the rest goes, I'll have the trophy taker. I want to say it's the SmackDown Pro. Yeah, SmackDown Pro, trophy taker SmackDown Pro for the rest. And that's my archery system there, and I'm super happy with that system, and it seems to do a very good job for me. So that's it for what I'm packing and what I'm carrying. All right, I hope you enjoyed that style of gear video. It's a little different than what I've seen in the past. I kind of wanted to give y'all more of a close-up to the gear that I'm going to be using. Just wanted to try something different. So if y'all liked it, let me know in the comments below. I didn't speak on my food that much, and that's just because we still got a month till we're leaving for the hunt. I don't want to pack my food this far out and have some of it go bad. But I will be doing a video on my food pretty soon, here in the next couple weeks or so. I'm going to upload a video of my actual food system and what I eat in the backcountry. So I'll go ahead and speak on what I'm using or what I'm eating, but I just won't have anything to show you. So for this year, I'm going to eat 2 Cliff Bars for breakfast. Super simple. I don't really care for a big extravagant breakfast. I'll just throw 2 of them Cliff Bars in, and we'll be good to go up the mountain. For first snack, I'll have 1 ounce of peanut butter M&Ms. I'll have 1 ounce of roasted pecans, which my grandma makes for me before we leave. And then I'll have a like a pepperoni style stick for like a Slim Jim, and a cheese from them. And that'll be my first snack. And then lunch is gonna be Nutella and bacon on a tortilla shell. I think it's 4 tablespoons of Nutella is what I've got figured up for the calories that I need. And then I'll have 1 ounce of Fritos as well with my lunch. So second snack is going to be the same as the first. It's going to be 1 ounce of peanut butter M&Ms, and it's going to be 1 ounce of roasted pecans. I just like sweets in the mountains for some reason. It's not the most healthy for you, but it's high in fat, high in calories, and it's what my body seems to crave when I'm on the mountain. So don't always just go by what other people's like healthy backcountry meals and all that stuff. I figured out last year that I only crave certain foods on the mountain, and the breakfast that I ate last year I just did not like. But that being said, so my supper is a little different. I've only seen a very few people that on YouTube or any of that have tried this or posted about using it. I love my supper. It's my favorite meal of the day when I'm in the backcountry. And for supper, I'll eat a singles Spam pack, 1 thing of ramen noodles, and a serving, which is a 1/4 bag of the Idahoan potato mix. And I'll mix all that together in my cook stove. I'll cook it up. I'll pour the seasoning pack from the ramen noodles in there, and that is just a phenomenal supper. It's a lot of food, but when I wake up in the morning, I feel good and energized. I don't feel like my body's needing a lot of food, and it seemed to work out great for me. And that's what I'll do for supper. And the only other thing I'll pack for food is I'll pack 2 little Propel packs per day. They're just like little electrolyte packs, just because I crave that extra flavor to the water, just because you get used to drinking water all the time, and sometimes you want something different. So I'll pack those 2 little pouches per day. Works out great for me, and that's my food system in the mountains. And it seems to work out great. Like I said, my body feels full of energy. It feels like I'm getting all the nutrients that I need, and it's pretty lightweight. It weighs like 1.6 pounds per day, and I think it's 15 pounds total, a little over 15 pounds total for the 10-day hunt, which, like I said, I won't be carrying all 10 days. More than likely I'll be carrying 3 to 4, maybe 5 days at a time. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of it. Just please let me know what you thought. Check out the gear list that I've got uploaded to the video, and hopefully it helps you when you're deciding on what to bring versus maybe what not to bring. And like I said, this is not an end-all do-all. This is just the list that I use and what really works good for me in the backcountry. So don't hesitate to comment below. Please like and subscribe. Trying to build this YouTube channel up as well as our Facebook and Instagram account. Go check us out there, and give us a thumbs up and help us build this channel. We're trying to get out a lot of good content. It's kind of hard when you work full-time job and then do this on the side, but trying to get some good content out to y'all, and I appreciate y'all watching. Good luck in the elk woods this year and any other type of hunting that you're doing, and we appreciate it. Have a good day.